Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, after lots of sunshine today, clouds are slowly starting to build back in. That's our roofing dugout at Adams Memorial's camera, looking down there towards the State Farm Center, where, again, the clouds on the increase as we go throughout the course of tonight will continue. Already pushing in here from the south and west, and those clouds are going to be around for much of the day tomorrow. So the last few hours here, enjoy the sun. A little bit breezy today. Once again, 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, but those are going to die down. And if you're heading out about this evening, temperatures are still pretty comfortable. Maybe get that late evening walk in before things start to cool back down, which will happen as we slip down into the mid-40s by 11 o'clock. We're talking the 30s tomorrow. It's a short-lived cold snap for tomorrow, but it rebounds. We'll talk about that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Clusters of cases of the coronavirus broke out at this senior living facility. What public health experts are doing to protect vulnerable people living in close quarters.
We had trial run-throughs before we opened.
It's as easy as driving up and rolling down the window, where they are now testing for coronavirus from your car.
He was just taken way too young.
A mother and her daughter were shot to death, who surprisingly called 911 to alert police.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
We're all in this together, and just please stay home.
That's the mayor of Taylorville pleading with people to stay home. More than half of the residents of a senior living facility in that city have come down with the coronavirus. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The Christian County Public Health Department is monitoring each of those residents with a nurse. 2 of the seniors are now hospitalized. Our Mark Maxwell is live in Taylorville tonight. Mark, what can you tell us about the situation there?
Jennifer, good evening. When you run for public office and you call yourself a public servant, I think most candidates don't expect that their duties might involve making delivery runs to the grocery store and to pick up things like hand sanitizer and Gatorade. Yet that's right where Mayor Bruce Berry of Taylorville found himself last night as a delivery boy, essentially, coming back and forth, shuttling to and from this senior living facility, which is now under lockdown. A police presence blocking and barricading the road leading up to here. They plan to do that for a full 2 weeks. 24/7, keeping people away from the inside where 22 seniors now live, and 12 of them, more than half, infected with the coronavirus. 2 of them are hospitalized. The mayor says many are in good spirits, even though they were rattled and concerned about the first news of this outbreak. While they're locked down in their individual rooms, the county told us today in a press call that they're tracking their symptoms and working to clean the entire facility inside and out.
A professional cleaning team will be going in daily for cleaning the common areas.
The main thing is to the outside people just to stay home. We'll be able to help the people inside there. I know medically I can't do anything, but as far as their needs, that we will be able to take care of all their needs, whether it's food, hand sanitizer, things like that.
The mayor told me his first run consisted of water, Gatorade, toilet paper, and hand sanitizer. He's also on standby and in communication with the residents here and their families to make sure they have the things they need while they're locked inside their rooms, as nurses continue daily checkups on them as well. The first test was conducted 1 week ago. Those results came back late Wednesday night, and so Thursday morning, the state public health department sprang into action to test everyone here, and they're keeping a close eye on everyone. Public health officials also traced the first patient, the first resident who had coronavirus here at this facility, and the first known case in Christian County. Both of them had one thing in common. They went to the same church service at a church location across town from here. So again, it's one of those reasons, a grim reality, why people congregating in any groups at all, larger than 10, or meeting in public, that's a place of transmission. And that's why public health officials, the mayor, the governor, everyone today, again, reiterating those calls to stay at home. Reporting in Taylorville, Mark Maxwell, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Has to stop if we're going to get this under control. All right, thank you. 8 more people have died in Illinois because of the coronavirus. That includes a man who was in the Stateville Correctional Center north of Joliet. The state's death toll is now at 73. One of those is in Morgan County. Another was just announced in Sangamon County. That is the second there. As for cases, there are 461 new ones, bringing Illinois' total to more than 5,000. In central Illinois, the numbers continue to climb. Champaign County is now up to 24. McLean has 17. Sangamon County now has 16. And as Mark said, Christian County has 12. Ford County announced its first positive case today. Illinois' stay-at-home order currently goes through April 7th, but yesterday President Trump extended national social distancing guidelines through April 30th. The governor hasn't made a decision on how that will affect the state.
We've evaluated that every day, as you know, and I think you saw that the President of the United States extended their recommendations for social distancing and other measures through April 30th, so we're taking that into account.
The national guidelines urge you to avoid groups of more than 10 and advises seniors to stay home. More cities around the country are trying drive-through testing and screening during the pandemic. For 2 Memorial Health System locations in Springfield and Decatur, though, they have been working on the drive-through process for weeks. Thousands have been screened since. WCIA 3's Andy Olson looks at how they're helping.
Decatur Memorial Hospital's Express Care East location is now fully converted to a respiratory screening drive-through. It has been since March 19th. The process to set it up went quickly. Memorial Health says it's continually learning and evolving the process to make it the best it can be.
You know, we had trial run-throughs before we opened, but there's nothing like that first patient coming through to really, make sure the systems are working. But we've had, multiple iterations, and we're continuing to, improve ourselves in the community.
The whole point is to social distance while visiting the doctor. Memorial Health System wanted to prevent the possible spread of coronavirus from one patient to another in its buildings, which led to it taking the process outside. The Macon County Health Department recently announced its first 2 positive coronavirus tests. It agreed with Memorial, saying, quote, if you experience symptoms with which you are concerned, do not present yourself at a hospital emergency room or doctor's office immediately, unless it is a true emergency. Please first call your primary care physician. The Decatur location is open 7 days a week taking patients. All they ask from patients is they call ahead. When you arrive, they should be able to take care of whatever respiratory sickness you're feeling.
Please call and we'll, triage you through our nurse line first, and then depending on symptoms and severity, we'll then go to our providers for, further testing or determination if testing is needed.
In Decatur, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The Springfield and Decatur locations have gotten a combined 5,000 calls from patients wanting to be screened. Of those, the hospital says it's given more than 600 COVID-19 tests. For its healthcare workers on the front line, the hospital says it's following CDC guidelines for protection. Each person has a face mask, face shield, gown, and gloves. They're cleaned and replaced in between each drive-up patient. In other news now, a Homer man accused of killing his girlfriend and her daughter was in court today. 54-year-old Kimberly Coyne and 24-year-old Blair Coyne were both shot. 28-year-old Jonathan Perry is charged with their murders. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays talked with friends who are mourning the loss of the victims.
Friends of the victims told me they were shocked to find out about their deaths. They're hoping the family gets justice.
My friend was taken away from me, and she didn't deserve that. Neither did her mom.
Family and friends are searching for answers after 54-year-old Kimberly Coyne and her daughter, 24-year-old Blair Coyne, were found dead at their St. Joseph home Sunday morning.
I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe what I was reading was true.
Friends of Blair say life won't be the same without her.
Overall, she's a really genuine, caring, funny person. She always put other people's needs ahead of her own.
Both of them together, they They were very, very lovable sweethearts.
Deputies arrested 28-year-old Jonathan Perry for the murders shortly after they happened. Police were called for a shots fired report just before 2 a.m. A few hours later, Perry's mom called 911 and told them her son came to her house and led her to believe he hurt his girlfriend Kim and her daughter Blair. Deputies say he had what looked like blood on his hand. They also found what appeared to be blood in the car he drove. They say he told them he was having mental health issues. Deputies asked if he hurt anyone, and he said he wanted a lawyer. Friends of the victims say the sadness has been overwhelming.
We never expected in a small town, let alone those two women.
But they're hoping better days will come for everyone.
Blair and Kimberly together will never be forgotten. Their hearts will be carried on.
I just hope that we can all find peace in this.
In St. Joseph, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
If convicted, Perry faces a mandatory life sentence. Danville police are investigating after a man and woman were shot in the arm. Happened Saturday afternoon near Cone and Edgewood Drive. Police say the victims were sitting inside their car when someone started shooting at them. Witnesses say they saw a man fire shots before getting into a red car and taking off. If you know anything about this, give Danville police or Crime Stoppers a call. Some new details now. The U of I wants a lawsuit filed by the estate of Ying Zhang dismissed. Brent Christensen killed the U of I scholar in 2017. He had been seen by two social workers at a campus counseling center before the murder. A judge dismissed a federal lawsuit against the social workers in December, but Zhang's estate refiled it in state court in January. We have a follow-up from last week. The state fire marshal's office is investigating what caused a house to explode in Georgetown. It happened last Thursday night. No one lived there, but it did damage nearby homes. They haven't released an official cause yet. Illinois schools are set for a major change. What starts tomorrow for everyone after an order from the State Board of Education. And also tonight, they come to your house every day. So what are some doing to make sure postal carriers are safe?
Well, we are seeing some nice weather out there tonight. Enjoy the last little bit of sunshine. The sun setting here before too long. Roofing Dog at Gibson Area Hospital camera. Recap today. Started out at a cool 35-61, though, for the high. We go back below average, though, as cooler air returns along with clouds, and we've got a lot of rain in the forecast. We'll show it to you coming up next.